In this video, we're going to go over getting started in your ZenLedger account. So if you have a new account that you've just started with us and you're unfamiliar how to use the software, this video is for you. This video will also be helpful if you haven't used ZenLedger for a while, but you already have an account with us, but you need a refresher and some instructions on where to go in your account. So the first thing that you want to do in your account is add all of your transactions. That's the most important thing in order for ZenLedger to work properly. We need your full transaction history imported. That includes all of the exchanges and wallets that you've ever interacted with. So in order to add a wallet or exchange, you want to be on the wallets page, which is basically the main page in your account. You would click this blue button that says Add Wallet Exchange. And then we have all of the wallets and exchanges that we support listed here. So there's quite a few of them. And you can also use the search bar to search for it. So let's say you're trying to add Binance US. You can search for that and then it'll come up here. Once you click on that, it'll give you instructions on how to import Binance US. So whenever you're importing something, you want to follow these instructions exactly in order for it to import correctly. You'll see similar instructions for many of the major exchanges. For many wallets, like let's check the Ethereum wallet here. So for the wallets, you're typically going to import your public wallet address. It'll give you the option to select the blockchain. For this one, it is automatically selecting Ethereum since we chose ETH wallet. If we chose Solana wallet, it would automatically select Solana as the blockchain. But if you go with a generic wallet provider, like let's say Ledger Live, you'll be able to click the drop down and select what type of blockchain the wallet address that you're adding is on. And then you want to paste the public address here and then click import, and the transactions will import after that. So there are some times when you have an exchange or a wallet that we don't support, but you need to add past transactions or current transactions from that source. So in that case, you could add the transactions manually if there's only a few transactions, but more likely there's more than a few, so you're going to upload it via a CSV. The CSV does need to be in our custom format, so you can download our CSV template here. And you can also contact us at support. We have a really helpful support article that goes over creating a custom CSV. So actually it's linked here as well, CSV import guide. And then if this is really over your head or seems very complicated, you can also get premium CSV support, which is a paid service that we provide to create the custom CSV for you. So you could reach out to us for more information on booking something like that. If you do just need to add a few, one or two outlier transactions, you can always add them manually. You'll see we have this template here for adding manual transactions, and it's pretty straightforward. So you can add single transactions that way. Okay, so once you've gotten all your transactions to the best of your ability added, you will see them listed here. So you'll have your total portfolio value and all the assets listed here combined into one. And then on the left-hand side here, you'll have them individually listed, which can be really helpful. If something is incorrect here in the total assets, you can go and look individually to see where that discrepancy is coming from and then address it within the one source. To view your total import history, so everything that you've imported either today or over the years, you can click import history here, and that will show you everything. This is just a test account I'm using, so it's very random, but you can see everything listed here and all the number of transactions that were imported. You can also see that in the individual holdings. So if I just click this one Bitcoin wallet, it'll only show that one Bitcoin wallet in the import history and the holdings within that one wallet. Okay, so once you have all of your sources added, you want to click this green Calculate Taxes button, and that will update your tax calculation. It'll run the tax calculation based on all of the transactions you have imported into your account. This can take a little bit of time, so if you have a lot of transactions added, it might take some minutes. So just be patient with that. Once it's finished, it'll bring you to the Tax Center page where you can access your tax forms, you can see your capital gains numbers, and you can see your taxable income numbers. And if you go to the transactions page, one really helpful feature that we recommend at this point checking out after you've added all of your transactions and run the tax calculation button is checking the warnings here. So if we click on warnings, this is just taking some time to load the transactions, but if we click warnings, we'll see the number of insufficient balance transactions we have and the number of missing price transactions we have. So this is something we recommend looking at. Let's start with the missing price transactions. It's typical that a lot of these transactions are just random airdrops that are worthless, but that were just put into your account because you have a public address, and this kind of thing is very common. Since the value of these is already at zero because it's a missing price, you don't even need to do anything with these. You can just leave them as is. You can mark them as ignore if you'd like, but you don't have to. It's not going to have a tax impact since the value is zero. But if you do see a transaction in here or multiple and you say, oh no, that should have a price, then you can edit the transactions. You click the three dots to the right here and select edit. And then you can enter in the amount of that transaction. This looks a little weird here because it's such a weird NFT, but you would add in the USD value here where it's blank and then click save. And then for the insufficient balances, those can be a little bit trickier because it's can be nuanced on what the issue is. But typically the issue with insufficient balances stems from earlier transactions, either from that source or a different source, are missing. And so the software is missing the cost basis for whatever a later sale or outgoing transaction is. So like in this case with the SUI, if we click on the red insufficient balance, it says there was not enough SUI in your Coinbase Pro wallet to accommodate this transaction. So it's saying like, hey, red alert, we don't know what the cost basis was for this SUI when you go to sell it, so it's going to incur a $0 cost basis and maybe higher than necessary. So you may be taxed higher than necessary. And this is why it's so important to get all of your transactions imported. So even those earliest transactions that you may think don't matter at all now, they actually do matter for this reason, because some of those might have established cost basis for tokens that you currently hold. And if you have questions about that or anything else, you can always reach out to us in the support box in the lower right-hand corner of your account. We are live in the chat from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day of the week to help you troubleshoot. But hopefully this gave you a good overview of getting started in your account. And we also, if you click on the more, we have many different support articles. So you can click support and access those for many different things that you might encounter to get more information on that.